All right, we got Dave and Brandy. I'm without Sandy for a minute. She's doing some stuff. Started a little early, so I've only got it on YouTube tonight. So when she does come over here, it'll be easier. But I'm not going to officially start until 7:45. But I'm going to doodle and stuff maybe a little bit here. What time is it? I don't even know. 7:30. Yeah, we'll just doodle. We're gonna draw this animal right here though tonight. A couple versions of Abudefduf saxatilis, the Sergeant Major. Until then, I don't know. Maybe I'll draw a little turtle. Feeling like a turtle drawing. People, if you are joining, let me know in the chat. I will try and keep an eye on it. And then once Sandy gets over here, she will help me with that. But for right now, I'll just draw a few strokes and then peek over. And hopefully I'll see if you guys join us. How are you, Brandy? Brandy, I'm hoping I get your shirts before our cruise next week. Because if we do, then we will wear them on the cruise. Show a little Dave and Brandy spirit on the cruise. All right. It's always the weirdest part of the turtle to draw, like where the flippers come out of the shell. Ooh, that's really long. You just got to get a better angle. Okay. I think that's good. Erase that. Oh, they went into printing yesterday? That's a good sign. Yeah, they usually, once they go into printing, they're usually pretty fast about getting them to you. So that, oops, still erasing. That's good. We still have like over a week, so hopefully they'll, a lot of times it'll give me a date too, where it'll say they'll be there by such and such. And then usually they're there ahead of time, but you know, the time that I depend on that will be the time they're not. So let's see. I think, what do we want this other flipper to be doing? Maybe just kind of hanging out down here like this. There we go. Kind of a weird turtle angle. We're going to do a turtle swim on the group cruise in April. That should be a lot of fun. It's just a place where green sea turtles, I think it's mostly greens, maybe some hawksbills tend to hang out. And yeah, should be cool. Oh, looks like somebody else is here. Oh, hey, Randy. How's it going? I'm just doodling a little bit, waiting for 7:45 and also for Sandy to be my eyes. So I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat, start a little early. Just wanted to get some warm-ups in here. Thought I'd draw a little turtle here. So little spots. Now, Dave and Brandy, you guys did the turtle farm in Grand Cayman. That's probably pretty cool. Looked pretty awesome. I know they like eat those turtles and stuff, but they're doing it in a sustainable way. And they do have a program with the Kemp's Ridleys, which are the most endangered sea turtle species, where they're trying to kind of help them. So, you know, it's one of those things. You got to find ways to support animals. So it's how a lot of crocodilian species were saved through farming like that. Oh, Nurse Nancy's there. Hey, Nancy. I'm just doodling a bit till 7:45, and then I'm gonna draw Abudefduf saxatilis here for you. And yeah, I hate to ask, but is it cold where everybody is? Because I mean, it's cold here in Florida. For Florida, it's cold, so I can only imagine that it might be a little chilly here. Oh, I think I'm about to get a kitty warmer though. So the kitten likes to curl up. I have a blanket on my lap. The kitten likes to curl up underneath it. And she's like a little hot box, so. Oh, yes. Whoop, and she's out. Okay, well, never mind. Yeah, Nancy, Abudefduf saxatilis is the scientific name for the sergeant major. I just like to say Abudefduf saxatilis a lot, so. Oh, slick in Michigan, I bet. Lots of ice. I know I was talking to my mom up in Missouri, and they got a ton of snow up there. But then she's like kind of in the center of the state. Then my uncle's on the west side of the state, a little bit south, but not that much south, and they didn't really get any snow, so I don't know. Kind of weird. All right, let's move this. Let's move this guy over here. Doodle something else. Let's see what time we got. It's in the 20s in Wisconsin. 31. Randy, you're in like, you're up north. I know are you like Minnesota or Michigan? One of those kind of central spots. 23 and 19 tomorrow. Oh, Brandy, that's terrible. I don't see pythons here, but as far as invasive species go, everywhere in Florida you see invasive species, plants and animals. So if you come to Florida and you see all the little anole lizards, the little brown lizards, those are invasive. I mean, there's almost as many invasives as there are natives in Florida, but I don't see the pythons. I've been in the Everglades, and one time when they had caught a python, but I've never seen one there. But I'm not really in the Everglades as much as I'd like, so that could be why. But I see, fish-wise, the lionfish is the invasive fish, and although I haven't seen them in Florida, I know they are here. I've seen them all over in the Caribbean. Nebraska, okay. All right. Terry, that tortoise picture was really cool. I like that a lot. Let's see. What do I want to do now? Maybe I'll try and draw. I drew a stingray last week. Maybe I'll do a spotted eagle ray. That's one of the things. A friend of mine, in fact, I think I'm going to try and interview her tomorrow for the Cruise Geeks. She just got back from a cruise, and this cruise was actually conservation cruise. And it went out of New Orleans, I believe, or Galveston. I think it was New Orleans. And they went to, there was like a Western Caribbean thing, but it was like kind of a conference cruise. She's one of my coworkers and a friend, but it's pretty cool. But anyway, she was in Chankanaab in Cozumel, and they were like, wait, Randy, why does it say Nebraska and Minnesota? Now you've confused me. Oh, you're from Minnesota. Okay, I got it. I got it. I'm slow, but I get there in the end. But they asked her if she saw any spotted eagle rays, and I guess there's like a ton of spotted eagle rays right now there. So I'm hoping, because I'm going to be in Chankanaab in a couple weeks, I'm hoping to see some spotted eagle rays. So that's what I'm drawing here. We do have spotted eagle rays at the aquarium. In fact, they had been off exhibit for a long time, and they just went back on exhibit. So that's pretty cool. But they are basically, they're a stingray, but they spend a lot of time. Well, they don't really sit on the bottom for the most part. They're up in the water column, and they are spotted. They're actually brown. Here, let me give them a little. I don't know if I'm going to color a color, but they're brown up here with white spots. So we'll just give them this is the doodle version. But then the underside is like a pale cream color. This is all brown here. And then they're white. This is really bad coloring. But just so you know what they look like. And then they have like spots all over. They're not as big as like a manta ray or anything like that, but they're pretty big. They are pretty large fish and really pretty. Yeah, if you haven't seen Terry's work, he posts some artwork over on Creature Science Illustrated, so check that out. He does traditional art very well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start. My cat's attacking my watch. Hang on a second. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the drawing of Abudefduf saxatilis. Now she's going back under the covers, warming me up. So I've got a picture up here. This is like an adult sergeant major. And I found this picture online, but I do have another picture I'm going to try and do of a baby. I just didn't have any handy that I've taken, but I'm going to draw the adult first just so you can see it. I'm going to just talk, whoa, not like that. I'm just going to talk about these guys and like how I draw stuff at the same time. So when I'm going to draw a fish like this, I'm kind of looking at the shape of the fish. So I'm looking at this curve and this curve here, and I'm constantly trying to compare shapes to other shapes to get the proportions. So I'm looking at this little V shape here by the mouth and stuff like that. I'm looking at this curve right here. The body, it curves this way, but then when it gets back here, it kind of drops off pretty dramatically and then curves into this peduncle. There's a fun science word. The peduncle. The belly kind of flattens out here. And then this bottom curve is not as dramatic. See, that's not as dramatic of a curve. Now, it can be confusing because you've got the fins and stuff that kind of blend into it. And if you're drawing something like a fish, if you're not familiar with them, I would say look at a few, even if you're drawing from one reference like I am here, look at a few different pictures because like fish will move their fins around. So you really want to kind of understand what that shape is before you draw it. Otherwise, you might finish drawing it and think you've drawn an accurate portrayal, and then you look at it and go, wait, that's not what that looks like at all. Tail here. Like, where does this gill come in? Like, right about here. Got a little pectoral fin action going on here. And then, of course, we have little fish lips. And the eye, look at the placement of the eye. You know, you might be tempted to put the eye here or here, but the eye sits like right here on this fish. And, you know, I'm trying to pay attention to how big it is compared to other parts. And I'm kind of rushing through this a little bit. So some of my proportions are a little off in this fishy, but I'm getting the gist of it. I'm going to pencil in the bars. So lines on a fish that go up and down, we call those bars. If they were going vertically, we'd call those stripes. And sometimes it's random how many bars or stripes a fish have, if they have any at all. But for the Sergeant Major, they pretty much always have five bars.
Are you on Facebook?
I'm not on Facebook, Sandy. I'm only on YouTube. Okay. I did that just for you, so you could keep up with the comments easier.
Thank you.
Here we go. All right, so now I've got like my basic fish shape penciled in here. If I was doing this traditionally, I would just do this in really light pencil, and then I would go back over it, and then I could erase the pencil. Depending on what I was doing, if I was painting it, it'd be a little different than if I was just like inking it or something. I'm going to ink this one just because it's quick and I want to get to other drawings and things. So now I'm going to really focus on trying to get these lines right and just give this guy a little character, give him a little emotion if I can. One thing that I'm trying to get better at is when you're doing lines like this, you change up the weight. And what I mean by that is this is thin to thick. That's the weight of the line. So sometimes a line may be thicker, but in nature or in reality, there's usually not that many lines that you see. We're just using those, and so the heavier, thicker line can give weight. So like this line is going to be thicker because it's the bottom of the fish, so it's going to be a little heavier. Give this guy a little glint in his eye here. I'm going to turn down the opacity on this too, just so I can see my line work better. Take a peek at my reference. We got any comments over there, Sandy? You see in the comments?
I'm seeing them. I got nothing. People are watching you do your thing.
So, of course, Sandy and I are super excited because we've got a cruise coming up. In fact, we are cruising 2 weeks from today. No, 2 weeks from yesterday. 2 weeks from yesterday. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, we're going to Chankanaab in Mexico. I mean, we're going to Cozumel, basically. And we're going to Grand Cayman. I'm going to scuba dive in Grand Cayman. Sandy's going to 7 Mile Beach, which Carl informed me is not actually 7 miles.
Terry asks, is that the actual sound of your pencil? It seems pretty loud for a stylus. Explain why you can hear that.
Oh, so if you hear the pencil, and that it's interesting, it's not that loud to me in reality, but I think it's because the microphone is so close to the iPad. I'm using the microphone on the iPad, but I also have, so I'm using the Apple Pencil on the iPad, but I also have this screen protector on it, which is a matte finish, and it's made by a company in Germany called Paperlike. So it's kind of pricey for a screen protector. I think it was like $20 for two of them. But it gives a little tooth to the iPad. So instead of just that smooth glass, it makes it feel like you're drawing on paper. It's paper-like, but it does make that sound, which is what you're probably hearing. That's funny. I didn't realize it was that loud.
I hear it when you're drawing, just sitting here.
Oh, you can hear? I guess I'm kind of used to it. What's...
Brandy's jealous, by the way, that we're going on a cruise.
Oh, that's okay, because we were very jealous of Brandy and Dave earlier this year. I feel like I'm missing a fin. No, I got them all. Okay. So, couple things that I'm gonna want to talk about here that are kind of Cruise Geek related a little bit. So we just released episode 50 of the Cruise Geeks, which is pretty cool. That means that we are almost at a year. So we've got 51 coming out this weekend, and 52 will be out the next weekend. And one of the things I wanted to do to kind of celebrate that year of the Cruise Geeks is see if I can get listeners to send me an audio file. You can make a recording on your phone. You can make a recording with software on a computer and just save it as like an MP3, MP4, any kind of audio file is probably fine, and email it to me at thecruisegeeks@gmail.com. And what I want to do is if I get enough of them, I want to make like a compilation of audio files. So what I want you to say is just something about the Cruise Geeks. You know, it can be happy birthday. It can be just saying hello. It can be, you know, if you enjoy the podcast, hopefully you enjoy the podcast. If you're listening to episode 52, just anything at all that you want to say about the podcast, just to kind of celebrate. And I want to get the listeners kind of involved in it. I think that you guys are as important to the Cruise Geeks as Tony and myself, so I want to recognize that.
All right, I have a question from Nurse Nancy.
All right.
Do you always find the buried statues when you are snorkeling in Chunkanab?
I do always find those buried statues. In fact, when we go to, one of the reasons I love Chunkanab, and if you guys aren't familiar with Chunkanab, basically it's like you pay and you're there for as long as you want till you have to get back to the cruise ship, or I think it closes at like 4 p.m. So it's basically there's a lot of stuff there, but the highlight for me is a big swimming area that has some coral heads in it, and then they've sunk all these statues. Some are like Mayan statues, some are sort of like Christian statues, but they're sporadically spread out. And when I'm there, Nancy, I'm in the water almost the entire time. Like I come out for lunch and then I'm right back in. So I'm usually swimming around that area for 4 hours or more. So yes, I see all of the statues, and I kind of like them. I think they're kind of neat. A lot of times there's fish hanging out on them. But I really do like Chunkanab. It's one of my favorite places to visit. I just like the value you get, and I just like the freedom to just kind of do your own thing and stuff. It's pretty good. Now I'm going to color this guy with a little bit of a blue tint here. Oops. And these guys really aren't blue, but they look blue usually because they're in the water. So, okay, I'll clean that up with an eraser. Now, when we go to Grand Cayman, I'm going to a place I've never been before, which is right by the ship Eden Rock. I wanted to free dive. My buddy Mark wants to scuba, so I'm not going to say no to that. So we're going to scuba dive, but then I'm hoping to free dive so I get more time there. Because some of the videos I've seen of that place, I mean, they see all kinds of stuff there, so it looks pretty intense. One of the cool things about this Apple Pencil and iPad Pro and this program Procreate, but you notice like sometimes my color's going outside the line. Well, that's because I've got this marker set, this ink pen set, to where this is like barely pushing down a little harder, a little harder, a little harder. I mean, look how much change I have from just the pressure. But sometimes that's a little hard to control, especially when I've got it set so extreme for filling stuff in. But it's cool because when I was doing the line work, it gives me a lot of freedom to get that variability. Now, since this is digital, I can do this. I'm going to see.
So I have a comment from Terry.
All right.
Terry says, I prefer snorkeling from a beach so you can snorkel all you want and come out for a break when you want. On the excursions from a boat, I always feel like if I'm not in the water, I'm missing out.
Oh, I feel you, Terry. In my Fantastic Guide to Snorkeling videos I've done so far, like sometimes you just can't get to a place without a boat, but if I had my druthers, I would always go from the shore if it's possible, because you just get more time and you go at your own pace. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. All right, now these guys have a little bit of yellow. I'm going to just alpha lock that. These guys have a little bit of yellow towards the top. So I'm going to switch to an airbrush here. Get a nice yellow. It's kind of a pale yellow. Well, you can see the picture. I forgot I had the picture there. They can see the picture too, man. Ooh, no, I had that way too small. Let's try it again. Even bigger. You can probably really hear that pencil going now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was going to spend a lot of time on this, I would do more with like shadows and stuff. I don't want to linger on it too long. I'll just hit it a little bit just to give it a little bit of dimensionality. Is that a word? Dimensionality? I think I just made that up.
Yeah, I think that's a word.
Is it a word?
I think so.
And then also I'd probably indicate the scales if I was doing this for a longer amount of time. I'm going to make these pectoral fins a little darker, and also this pelvic fin here. And then what I'm going to do is going to go back to my inking brush. I'm going to raise this to a little bit lighter color. And see how this fins have these little ray markings on there? So I could do that with dark or light, but I think it'll look better with light. Yeah, I kind of like the way that looks. If I did it with dark, I think it would just kind of change the effect. Okay, so anyway, so if you guys would like to just do an audio file, that'd be awesome. But the other thing that maybe you guys could help me with is the topic of this week's Cruise Geeks is going to be all about things to do in Cozumel. So I know several of you have been to Cozumel, obviously. So if you guys have some cool stuff that you know about Cozumel or things you've done in Cozumel and you want to let me know about those, either here in the chat or send me an email or something like that, that'd be awesome. All right, I'm going to merge these two together.
question from Randy.
Okay.
How large do they get?
These little sergeant majors are not very big. So normally these guys are going to top off at around 4 to 6 inches. But occasionally you might see one that's closer to that. I think the record is only a little over 6 inches. But most of them I see are probably like closer to 4 inches. Now the other picture I want to draw from, this is one I took. And this, this is a little baby Abudefduf saxatilis. So like, well, here, I'll show you. So if this is mom or dad here, this little thing is probably like this big. I mean, we're talking adorable little creature here. This little fish is probably like an inch or smaller. Really cute.
Okay, so Dave and Brandy say, Twister boat to Passion Island. That was such a fun excursion.
Twister boat to Passion Island. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is Passion Island all about? Draw this little...
And then I have a comment from Nurse Nancy.
Okay.
She says, we have a few stories about Cozumel.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Whoa. What kind of stories, Nancy? So I need to know more about this Paradise Island.
Passion Island.
I'm sorry, Passion Island. That's wrong place. And I need to know Nurse Nancy's stories. Spill the beans.
And if she can't spill them here, she better spill them in February.
It's always trickier to draw things like on an angle like this. One of the reasons is you kind of know what something looks like from the side, but when you're drawing these angles, it's not always as they appear, even more so. And a lot of it's just shadow and stuff like that. What Sandy is laughing maniacally now. So
Brandy says, it's a small island that is so clean. Watch the vlog. Winky face. Matthew.
Oh. Wait, did you guys just release that vlog? Like today? I think I saw like 3 Cozumel vlogs go up today. It was really appropriate timing.
Yes, they did it when they were on the Miracle.
Okay. We have not had a chance to watch that yet, but we will watch it.
And Randy says they like to walk, shop, and eat at Alberto's downtown Cozumel.
Oh, okay. Alberto's. I'm not familiar with that place. Is it you shop and eat all at Alberto's?
No, walk, shop, and eat.
Oh, okay. Walk, shop, and then eat at Alberto. Okay, I gotcha. Is Alberto's, I mean...
Is that like a Mexican?
I'm going to assume that's a Mexican restaurant, but maybe I shouldn't assume. Yeah, this is a little bit trickier. So see here, it's kind of weird looking. It's the best way I could describe it. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger.
Okay, Nurse Nancy says, our first time to Cozumel, we went to Chankanaw.
Okay.
I snorkeled with the 3 kids while hubby watched the belongings. Then we came back and rested, and he went out snorkeling alone.
Nice. Now, Nancy's daughter is in Japan right now. So I don't know if everybody's seen some of the cool pictures from the aquarium over there. Because there's 2 aquariums in the world that have whale sharks. One is in Atlanta, Georgia, and the other one is in Japan. And that's where she was. Pretty awesome. I've not been to Japan, but I've been to the Georgia aquarium, which is cool.
Oh. Okay, so Randy said they have a beach restaurant also, but they have not been there yet. Um, her husband is not an experienced snorkeling, got caught in a riptide and almost drowned.
Oh yeah, she's talked about that. Like he had some issues in Chankanaab. That's interesting. A riptide. I've never
Oh,
really experienced too much in the way of currents in Chankanaab, so that is interesting. Uh, the I don't know. I guess this is one of those things where um, I can tell you what to do in a riptide, but unfortunately, the best thing to do is not panic, and so that's easier said than done, right? So, um,
Hanya?
but really, you don't want to fight a riptide. You want to swim kind of
Uh,
perpendicular to it.
why are you wet?
You don't want to try and then until you get out of the riptide and then come back to shore. So if it's pushing you out, you want to swim with the shoreline, if that makes sense. But the important thing is to try and relax and just kind of get out of that current. I know that's like, yeah, that's great, right?
Yeah, so apparently he had his iPhone in his pocket, she says, but that was little compared to almost losing his life.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Terry says they have riptides in Lake Michigan. Swim to the side.
Really? They have riptides in Lake Michigan. That's crazy.
Yeah, Nancy said he totally panicked and came back shaking because he really thought he was gone, but then he thought about the way to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, so often in water stuff, that's so important is trying to just keep your cool and I mean, again, like I realize that
Here,
you
is that
know
better? Thank you.
talking about that is one thing and actually doing it is another thing, but yeah, I mean that's important. If you can find a way to calm down, that is going to be your best chance to get out of whatever the dangerous situation is. I mean, I guess that's true with a lot of things in life, but it's definitely true underwater. Or in the water, I should say. Well, I hope it didn't scare him off from snorkeling completely. Because I know people can have traumatic experiences and then that's it. They're like done.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, you know. But hopefully, I think he still snorkels a little bit, right? Now I'm pulling colors directly from this photograph. That's one advantage of having this photograph like right here on the page is I can select actual colors from here, which is nice because that can be hard to do by just visually looking at it. Now this is not exactly what I would call painterly, but this is being a little more painterly than like what you normally see me do on here. Like it would normally take me a lot more time to do this. It's not super different from painting like with real paints and stuff like that, but some of the techniques are the same, but not exactly. And the thing with digital is you get a little bit of a break if you make a mistake. Sandy just made a really crazy sound. What?
So the next time they were in Cozumel,
Oh no.
they went to Paradise Beach. The pool was so fun that Anthony thought he could backflip in it. He scraped the entire top of his head on the bottom of the pool.
Oh my gosh.
And came up with his head covered in blood.
Oh no.
Last time we were in Cozumel, he just laid low. No injuries.
That's probably a good idea. Now that's scary, Nancy. That is really scary. You don't want to get hurt like that, for sure.
Yeah, Brady said, Cozumel has not been good to you guys. Or your husband, that is.
Yeah. Man. You can kind of see this starting to sort of take shape here a little bit. Or at least hopefully you can. Hey, this is kind of cool. I went and bought a computer, a freediving computer last weekend. And the guy at the dive shop tried to talk Sandy into taking a scuba class. And I think she's going to do it. Like, not like a full, like, learn how to dive, but just like a try scuba thing. Pretty exciting. Did I miss something else? I heard oh.
No, it's my keyboard. It's not working. Nancy said, yes, he's getting over the anxiety of snorkeling and does it with her still.
Oh, good. Good.
And she said, looking good, Matt.
Thank you. I think I can turn my guidelines off here. Kind of help a little bit. Now these fins on the side are a little tricky because really they're pretty transparent, and I'd be drawing like the background that's behind there, but I'm not going to really do a background, so we're just going to kind of fake it a little bit.
Randy asked Matt, are you a certified diving instructor?
I'm not a diving instructor. I always kind of wanted to do that, but just never did. Unfortunately it's
Terry's signing off. He's got to go grab something to eat.
Oh, okay, Terry. Well, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for posting that tortoise. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think dive instructor is a pretty cool thing, but it's a hard gig. It's a lot. It's expensive because you've got to do a ton of diving to become a dive instructor, which, that doesn't sound bad, but scuba diving is expensive. And so trying to log in the hundreds of dives to get it for not a ton of payoff for most people, unfortunately, I just could never justify it. But I don't know, if I was younger and had it to do over again, maybe I would do that. I got certified to dive when I was 15 years old, but I was in Missouri and neither one of my parents could even swim, and there was really not a lot of opportunity to dive in Missouri, so I barely ever got to dive, but I wanted to dive, like, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, Randy said, I thought maybe with your love of teaching that you might.
Oh, yeah, no, believe me, it is not something that I have not thought about. Yeah. Now, I have done I used to work at a science center before the aquarium, and the science center we did have camps that were scuba camps. We worked with a local dive shop, and I got to go and I wasn't officially an instructor or anything like that. I wasn't really doing the teaching, but I was like an assistant, I guess. I was just in the water. I wasn't even a dive master, really. I was just in the water to help out. They let me do that, which was really cool. but officially I was just really kid control.
I can't type anything. My keyboard is not working. So Nancy's daughter Naomi is a certified diver, and she's working on her master diver.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, obviously there's a lot of dive masters at the aquarium where I work, and really, like, there's a few jobs that I would consider doing, like, at the aquarium, and the one that I've got is obviously one of them, but one of the other jobs that really appeals to me would be one of our divers, and our divers are most of them are dive instructors. I think we have had some that were just dive masters, but yeah, it's a lot, but it's pretty awesome. See if I can get this little outline around this fish's eye here. Sometimes these little details can make a huge difference. Sometimes they don't. I don't know if this one's going to. I'm looking at this. I've got it projecting on the TV as well as on the iPad. It looks terrible on the TV. It's so much bigger than it actually is. But we're getting there. So, like, obviously a drawing like this would take a lot more a lot more time and effort than just a little line drawing that's colored. And we'll do a little.
Yeah, Nancy says she's scared to scuba. Maybe someday.
Well, see, Nancy, that's why you need to do this program like this guy was trying to talk Sandy into doing, because
she can come do it with me.
Yeah, you should do that. She come do it. They do it 2 Wednesdays a week every month. 2 Wednesdays a week. 2 Wednesdays a month, twice a week. If you can find a week with 2 Wednesdays. Yeah, let me know about that. But it's only $15 to do this. And that's a pretty good deal. And you're just in the swimming pool, so it's really controlled, safe environment. I think you start off, you're only in like 4 feet of water, so you can just stand up, you know. Well, you could stand. You're taller than 4 feet.
Not much.
But then I think if you want, you can go to the deeper side of the pool. And he said, sometimes people will do that, and then they'll go on and do like scuba classes and stuff. But sometimes they just do that and they're done. But it's a good way to figure out if it's something that you would enjoy. Or a lot of people worry they're going to be like claustrophobic or something like that, and I don't know. To me that seems weird, but I don't think I'm the best one to make a judgment like that, because I can't really it's hard for me to put myself in those shoes. I'm very comfortable in the water, so I don't think it's fair for me to judge other people's discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most people probably find that it's really not bad. Not bad at all. What time we got over there?
It is 8:21.
8:21. All right, so we got a few more minutes. All right, I mean, so there's our little baby Abudefduf saxatilis. It's a cute little thing. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. These are not something you can tell that easily on, but so we'll just call it. Maybe make that. Well, see, his mouth's got its mouth. It's got a little bit of brightness in there. Maybe we'll just highlight the top here. See how that looks. Looks like he's got teeth and he's smiling now. Yeah, I keep saying that. We're not going to say if it's a he or a she and then call it a he. Isn't that weird? There's certain animals that I just call he or she, and I don't know why. Like, obviously if I don't know, I mean, some animals I know. That, like, I have 2 alligators I work with at the aquarium, and I have no idea if they're males or females. They won't. I know how to tell, but it's a little invasive, and they won't let me do it. So, but one of them I always call a she, and one of them I always call a he, and it's just, I just feel like that's what they are, but I don't really have any idea. It's just kind of funny.
I told him that we were trying to talk Griff and Alyssa into going with me.
Oh, yeah.
And
They're game. They're going to do it. They'll do it in a second, I think.
Brandy said, that would be awesome vlog series. And I said, there would definitely be bloopers.
All right. I got to stop.
He's trying to sing the baby Abudefduf.
Saxatilis.
To the baby shark.
Oh,
song.
wow. Baby Abudefduf saxatilis. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
That's hard. do.
So this is kind of interesting because of how I did this. Now, I'll turn this one back on here. Let me move this one over to the side. So you guys can see these are 2 very different styles of drawing. And, they both have their place and everything. They're just different ways of doing it. This one is not nearly as detailed as I would like it to be, but, it's just a very different way of rendering an image, and they both have their place, I think. But, yeah, kind of cool to see the differences there, and see, maybe you guys could see kind of the different techniques and stuff. Obviously, I can turn out this a lot faster. Even if I did a more detailed one, I could do a lot more of these than I could of these guys, which ends up looking more like a painting than your standard one here. Cool.
I like the blue guy.
The baby one?
The baby one.
The one on the right? Sandy likes the baby one on the right.
All right. Is that a big surprise?
That's not a surprise at all. Not even a little surprise. Anything else you guys want to see me draw in the last few minutes here?
You have 5 minutes.
I got 5 minutes. All right, this will be like the speed round. Give me something to draw in 5 minutes, and I'll try and doodle it without a reference, and we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm. And talking at the same time.
And talking. Yeah, that's probably not going to go well.
Nancy said the baby looks like it's moving. I would agree. It does look like it's, yeah.
Looks like it's moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, because it's not a static,
right,
like profile, very bland side view. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the other thing,
Crocodile. Nancy says crocodile.
Oh, Nancy, the funny thing is, as much as I love crocodiles, I'm not great at drawing them. So let's see if I can draw a crocodile. Yeah, when you ask somebody to draw a fish, they're going to probably just draw a side view of a fish, which is great, but that's not really what most fish look like. Or it's not what they don't look like that. It's just that's not how you normally see them. All right, I got to go faster if I'm going to do. All right, so I'm just going to do a crocodile head, I think. Nostrils up here. Let's see. Got to feel out where the eyes are. This is where I need a reference. You'd think I'd know where a crocodile's eyes go, right? Mm-hmm. But nope. Well, and one of the things is, yeah, see, that's wrong. I can tell you that. One of the things is crocodiles tend to have more flat heads, although some of them have like Cuban crocs and even American crocs a little bit have this sort of horn-looking structure before you get to their scales. Let's see. I cannot get this eye right. I think this is throwing me off here. Let me erase that. Yeah, I think that was throwing me off here. Now, of course, the big thing that makes a crocodile is the teeth and the shape of the snout. That's two of the things that make it easy to identify them from, like, say, alligators. And so they have this sort of broad snout, but it's more of a V shape than an alligator's more of a U shape. So we've got that, and then right here they've got a little divot, and this is their fourth tooth back, and it sticks up. Why are you laughing over there?
Yes, he said it doesn't have to be perfect in the speed round, Matt.
So I can't help it. It's a problem, Nancy. It's a problem.
I'm letting them know you're a perfectionist.
All right, there we go. There is my very quick crocodile with a very large left hand. Anything else? We got anything else?
No.
No? All right. What time is it?
8:29.
8:29. All right, then I should probably say goodbye. So thank you guys for watching, hanging out tonight. Always love hanging out with you guys and doodling on Tuesday nights. And I'll see probably all of you over in the Lalita Loca live stream. So if you're watching this after the fact, check out the Cruise Geeks podcast. Check out Lalita Loca. Check out the Cruise Geeks YouTube channel. And, of course, keep watching Creature Science Illustrated for more art and drawings. And also go to the Facebook page. It's a Facebook group, actually. And you can see me drawing occasionally and other people sharing their artwork over there. It's a small, very small community. It's a good time to get in. It's very tiny, but we're growing, and it's gonna get awesomer and awesomer. I don't think that's a word either.
That is not a word.
All right, guys, have a fantastic night. I'll see ya